Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, first we are talking about pramana. So pramana, if you go through the literal meaning of this is means proof. So for example, if someone is telling you something, someone is giving you some information. So what is the first question you ask that person normally? For example, someone is blaming your brother for something, like he has done something, or someone is blaming our family members for something. He's giving us some information about some family members of other or ours. Then what is our first question? Our first question is, what is proof? On which basis you are saying that? This is our first question. So darshan means philosophy. Philosophy means you are having a love for knowledge. Philosophy, this is made from two words, and it is a kind of meaning like having love for knowledge. So philosophy is all about knowledge. Similarly, darshan. Darshan means to look, how you are looking at the world. What is your perspective? So that is known as darshan. So darshan and philosophy, these two are used for similar subject. In philosophy, we call it a darshan. But the meaning of these two words, darshan and philosophy, gives us very clear distinction, give us very clear difference the thinking of Indian philosopher and Western philosopher. Western philosopher just expressed knowledge as the most loving thing. Philosophy means you are having love for knowledge. Whether Indian philosopher, they consider darshan as your eyes, your existential thing that you need to exist. Darshan means your perspective, how you are looking at world. So this is darshan and this is philosophy. So in Indian philosophy, we have nine darshan. Darshan means, in as I already told you, perspective to see life. Actually, what happens, something you can, okay, let's discuss this. What is the use of this philosophy according to you? What is need of philosophy?
Is that a question for us, sir?
Yes.
What is the need of philosophy? At the moment, we want to understand the subject and prepare for the exam.
But why it is included in your net exam? And why
Knowledge
this
about
philosophy
history,
is
sir.
so much developed? Yes.
Knowledge about ancient people, sir. How they learned like that.
Knowledge about ancient people, but some philosophy like
Sir, I
Western.
think it is included in the syllabus because they want to give a clear perspective of what India has to offer in terms of world views or world perspectives. How did we evolve? And they also included Western logic because that is how the West is looking at how they pursue the world.
Okay,
So
then one.
maybe a comparative study of both of them will give a clear picture of what India says and what the world West is saying.
Okay, now same question for both of you. A similar pattern I observe in both of your answer. You are relating this darshan with our ancestors, with our history, like how people, what is the perspective of different people. But we have science. Then why our ancestor choose this philosophy? Why they?
Science Science
We,
is only giving us the knowledge related to things which can be proved, and those things can be repeated or used by anybody. So we have kind of a valid basis. They are trying to prove that with experiments and instruments and things like that, and say that this is because we have done an experiment or something like that, and we arrived at this particular conclusion. But philosophy, I mean, the way India looks at it is, I mean, things which we are not able to measure with the scientific aspects. Those aspects, a lot of those aspects are included in our philosophy,
Okay.
and those relate to the subtler realms or understanding, which is beyond normal human perception with the sense organs.
Yes, now you almost reached to the answer. Actually, science is very much important for us, but science is limited up to some extent. For example, science can explain how everything is working. We can explain this by science. Actually, this is a very fundamental question, and most of the people they are like in a era of science. Why you are reading philosophy? What is the need of philosophy? And but we can see the work we Indians have done on our philosophy up to 10 times the foreigner philosopher has done on our philosophy. Just search any book, Patanjali Yog Darshan, Goraksh Samhita, Nyay Darshan. You will find one or two Indian writers, that too before 15th century. But you will find hundreds of foreigner writers. The most famous commentary of Patanjali Yoga Sutra is written by some Erwin. I don't know the complete name. Something Erwin. He wrote the most famous and most modern commentary of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So something is in our philosophy. That's why everyone is running behind our philosophy. And the most important thing in our philosophy is that science cannot explain you everything. Science can explain how different things working, but some questions like what is the purpose of our life, this we cannot explain with the help of science. Why we all are here, and what should be the ideal perspective to live our life? Should we dedicate it to others? Should we only think of ourselves? Should we think of God? Should we not think of God? These all perspective of life, how should we live our life? These all questions which cannot be answered through science. These all questions are very much answered in our philosophy. And those answers are not like general answer. Those preachers or those we can say uh, those rishis, they just live their life and on the basis of their experience they wrote it. For example, Gautam Nyaya Darshan. So he stated that we should live a life with a perspective of logic. Mimamsa Darshan, they live their life with a perspective of action, karma. That's why they give so much importance to karma kanda. Vedantic Darshan, for them only knowledge is everything. Similarly, Yoga Darshan, they include yoga in their perspective, they include yoga in their life. So, how you should live your life, this darshan teaches us what should be the perspective. That's why I told you in Hindi there is much more deeper meaning of this darshan than philosophy. Darshan means to look, to see how you are seeing this life. This darshan will tell you, this philosophy will tell you. That's why philosophy is very much important. And if you read various philosophy, then you will get various perspective in your life, so that you will not be affected by various situation in your life, and you can keep calm, you can remain stable throughout your life, and you can live a good life. So this is ultimate philosophy to live our life. Any question you are having?
No, Manoj just said that he would be leaving the call, sir. So there's some emergency, I think.
Okay, you can leave. So 9 darshan are there, and this is a general introduction of darshan. So let's come to this question, like why darshan has pramana. So as I already told you, darshan is very much related to knowledge. So what should be the source of knowledge? Every darshan decided. For example, as I can decide, I will only believe on Wikipedia. I will not believe on any other website. I will believe on some books. I will not believe on any person. I can decide on which source I am going to believe and on which source I am going to deny. Similarly, every darshan, they decided on which source of information they are going to rely and on which source of information they are going to deny that information. So first comes Charvak Darshan. Charvak Darshan, they only accept the Pratyaksha Praman, means they will only rely or they will only accept the source of information, and that source of information is Pratyaksh, means only they will only accept those things that are happening in front of their eyes, that are uh, happening live in front of them. Pratyaksh, those things they can directly perceive with the help of their sense organ, they will only believe on those things. Because of that, what happened? Charvak Darshans stop believing on God, stop believing on soul, because all these things we cannot perceive with the help of our sense organ. That's why Charvak Darshan developed like this, as you see Charvak Darshan. Now, these things you have to remember, because many times UGC asks this question: how many darshan believe in Pratyaksh Pramana, or how many Pramana Charvak Darshan accept? So Charvak Darshan only accept one Pratyaksh Pramana. Okay, now two darshan, Bauddha darshan and Vaisesik darshan. Bauddha philosophy and Vaisesik philosophy, they only accept two Pramana. Those two Pramana are Pratyaksha and Anumana. Anumana means inference, to infer something. So both and Vaisesik Darshan, these two darshan decided we only accept these two valid source of knowledge. One is Pratyaksha, means perception, and other is Anumana. Anumana means on the basis of perception. You had perceived something, on the basis of that perception you are going to infer something. For example, you have seen smoke on mountain. So what you will perceive? There may be fire on that mountain. So both and Vaisesik Darshan, they accept two Pramana. One is Pratyaksha and other is Anumana. Anumana means inference. Next, we have three darshan. This you can remember as BV. Both Vaisesik, two Pramana. Now we have three darshan, JYS. Jain darshan, Yoga darshan, and Samkhya darshan. These darshan accept three pramanas. Two pramanas are same, Pratyaksh pramana and Anuman pramana, means perception and inference. So one is Pratyaksh and one more request. Even if you are not comfortable in Hindi, but please try to remember these terms: Pratyaksh, Praman, because many times I have seen when I uh, attend the question paper in English, you will not find the English meaning of these terms because these are actual terms of Sanskrit. So please try to read these terms also. One is pratyaksha, means perception. Other is anumana, means inference. And one is shabda. Shabda means a word. A word, either someone saying this or it is written in some book. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there is one sutra, Pratyaksha Anugama Pramanani. Pratyaks, Anuman and Agam. So Pratyaks, Anuman and Agam. Agam means Sabda. Sabda means any words, those are written in some books, or any words, those are being said by some knowledgeable guru. So Jain Darshan, Yoga Darshan, and Sankhya Darshan, they decided that we will accept this as a pramana also. If something is written in our religious book, then we will also accept this as a pramana because this is written in our book. Or if our guru is saying something, we will also accept this as a source of knowledge. We will not deny this. So these three darshan accept three pramana, J, Y, S. Now we have one more darshan, that is Nyay darshan. Everyone understood this Sabda pramana, what is source of knowledge through Sabda. You understood this?
Yes, sir. Sir, verbal testimony like from a guru or a very learned person who's an SME in that, or from a scripture which has the authority.
Yeah. That is Shabda Pramana. Next, Nyay Darshan. So Nyay Darshan, along with these three, Pratyaksh, Anuman, Sabd, they also accept the Upamana. So three are same and one is Upamana. Upamana is known as analogy. For example, we have a, for example, uh, two friends are living in any city. So one friend wants to tell another friend about his house. So if he is saying that, look at this house, my house is similar to this house. So this is upamana. When you are giving resemblance to something, if you want to give some knowledge of unknown to someone, you just compare that unknown to something that the person knows. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Just give a few seconds, sir. I'm making a note of this.
Okay. Okay, till then I will try to give one more example. Okay, for example, if I want to uh, explain you some person which you don't know, then I can give you example of some person which you know. Like for example, that person is exactly like Rahul sir, or that person is exactly like some other teacher of MDYA. So what I am giving an example of known person to you, and I am saying that that other person is similar to that person. So upamana means when we gives knowledge on the base, when we gives knowledge of unknown, knowledge of unknown by giving knowledge of known and their similarity. This is Upamana. Now, Mimamsa Darshan. So we have Purva Mimamsa and we have Uttar Mimamsa. So Mimamsa Darshan, uh, have you written that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. Mimamsa Darshan. Mimamsa Darshan is a darshan in which there is most number of pramanas, and these are 6 pramanas. 6 pramanas. For example,
Sir, this applies to both the darshanas, is it? Purva and Uttara? Or?
both darshan, Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa. Actually, there is no distinction between whether these 6 pramanas are from Purva or Uttar. Just Mimamsa darshan, they consider
Okay, sir.
6 pramanas. And in next class, I will try to find it out whether it belongs to Purva Mimamsa or Uttar Mimamsa.
Sure, sir.
Okay, so 6 pramanas are 4 pramanas same as Nyaya Darshan. 2 pramanas. One is Arthapatti, and one is Anupalabdhi. So Arthapatti and Anupalabdhi. So Arthapatti is similar to Anumana, means inference, but there is a difference between Arthapatti and inference. For example, in inference, you infer on the basis of some perception, on the basis of something you infer. But Arthapatti means you are inferring without any basis, you are guessing without any basis. So this is Arthapatti. I will just give one example of inference and one example of Arthapatti. For example, you see smoke on a mountain, then you can infer that there can be fire. So you are inferring on the basis of something, and that something is smoke. So when we are inferring, when we are guessing on the basis of something, that is called inference or anumana. But when we are not doing this, systematically, we are doing this without any proper perception, without any proper basis, that is known as Arthapatti. For example, there is a fat person and you never uh, watch him eating something. So you just guess in your mind that he would be eating all the night. So what you are doing, you are just inferring, you are just guessing without any proper evidence. This is Arthapatti. Arthapatti means a kind of, we can say, exact word for this. When you are pre-assuming something, one is assumption on the basis of some fact, and one is pre-assumption without any proper basis. This is Arthapatti. And one is Anupalabdhi. Anupalabdhi is very easy. Anupalabdhi, if someone from you if knows Hindi, then Anupalabdhi literally it means absence. When absence of something gives us knowledge, that source of knowledge, that absence is known as Anupalabdhi. For example, in this class, only 3 people are present in this class. Then absence of someone, let it be Manoj sir. Absence of Manoj sir, we can infer something like he is having some important work or he would be doing something. So inference on the basis of absence of something, that is known as anuplabdhi. Is it clear?
So inference based on
Absence of something.
absence of something.
Yes.
Again, does this have a proof or without any proof, sir?
In this, only absence is a proof. And you will get very easy question. You can just tick the question when they will only ask if a child is absent in class and the teacher is assuming that he will be going uh, to attend some marriage, or he will be going for some vacation, what praman he is using. These type of question they will ask.
Yeah, I got a very funny example for this. Generally, when there are people in the class and somebody gets shipped with somebody, there is a rumor going on that this person is dating with somebody. Then, if both are absent in the class, then it means that we end up thinking that they went out on a date or something.
Yeah, and that is also example of this. And by this example, everyone almost becomes sure in his mind that they went out together. So this is also like anuplabdhi. Anuplabdhi is known as non-apprehension. Arthapatti, in some books it will be written as pre-assumption, and in some books you will also find postulation. Arthapatti. For upamana, you will find analogy or you will find comparison. So these are,
Arthapatti is completely without a basis, right, sir? Generally thinking that it could be this and giving it.
हाँ,
Like a fat person, you said, might be a glutton who eats a lot of food, but generally that might not be the case, because we see a fat person, we directly jump to a conclusion that that person might eat a lot.
हाँ. So this type of conclusion, this type of assumption is known as arthapatti without any proper inference. After some time, when we will discuss this inference anumana, then you will find out how systematic and how organized is this anumana. So in our normal language, in our normal talk, we are using anumana for both arthapatti and for both inference or anumana. But when we will study this anumana, you will find out every time we are only using arthapatti. Because to do anumana or to infer something, we need a proper systematic evidence, and that we will study. Okay, now we will discuss this pramanas. I already told you what are pramanas. Types of pramanas. These all are types of pramanas. So try to write in your own language, especially anumana and anuplabdhi. So in today's class, it is not very much complex. It is like very easy, but tomorrow's class we will discuss the types of anumana. We will discuss the process of anumana. That is the most complex topic of this whole logical reasoning. I will try to explain this in as simple as I can. For today, let's discuss these types of pramanas. Very easy topic it is. Pramanas. First pramana is pratyaksha, means perception. What is perception? Perception is or pratyaksha is direct perception or sensory experience. Experience we are having with our sensory organs, experience of world we are having with our sensory organs. We are having five sensory organs, and if we are gaining knowledge from any of the sensory organ, either we are seeing something, either we are listening something, we are having perception of touch, we are having perception of taste. All these perceptions comes under pratyaksha, means sensory experience. It is the most fundamental pramana. The most fundamental pramana is pratyaksha. Why it is most fundamental? Because it is the basis of all other forms of knowledge. As I already told you, on the basis of perception, you infer something that is known as anumana. Means for anumana also, to infer something also, you need some sensory experience, or you need some uh, direct perception. Then only you can go for anumana. For Sabda Pramana, for verbal testimony also, what you have to do, you have to read some books written by your guru or written by some authority, or you have to listen to your guru. For that also you need perception, you need experience through your sense organ. That's why it is written here that pratyaksha or perception, it is the basis of all other forms of knowledge. We acquire knowledge of the external world through our sense organs such as eyes, ear, nose, tongues, and skin. Okay, types of pratyaksha. So, two types of pratyaksha are there according to Gautam. According to Maharshi Gautam, two type of pratyaksha are there. It is not written here. One is Laukik pratyaksha, and one is Alaukik. One is Laukik pratyaksh and other is Alaukik pratyaksh. For Laukik, what we can say Laukik in English, worldly.
Worldly.
Yeah,
Worldly is Lokik.
worldly is Laukik, and what we can say for Alaukik, divine, some kind of divine or supernatural we can say. So one pratyaksha is Laukik or worldly pratyaksha when you are perceiving worldly things. It is simple by its literal meaning. When you are perceiving some worldly things, then it is called as Laukik pratyaksha. For example, you are listening my voice, you are watching this presentation, or you are watching television. All these worldly things, if you are observing, if you are perceiving, then it is Laukik pratyaksha. What is Alaukik pratyaksha? It happens to us sometime, and very rare it happens to us, and the more spiritual person you are, the more you will feel this Alaukik pratyaksha. For example, you are feeling some presence of your Ishta Devta, your Guru. If you are feeling some guidelines that your guru is giving you time to time, these all type of pratyaksha, these all type of perception which are out of this world, which are not comes under the dimension of this world, these all pratyaksha are known as divine perception or alaukik pratyaksha. So you can write this. It is not in this notes. Laukik pratyaksha are of two type. Now it is in notes. These two types are of Laukik pratyaksh. So you want to write,
Yeah, I've written, sir.
okay. Okay, so Laukik pratyaksha or worldly perception is of two type, external perception or internal perception. Now what is external perception or what is internal perception? External perception means when our sense organ is directly coming under the contact of a sensory object. For example, you are watching this PPT, you are listening to my voice. That is external perception. What is
Sir,
internal?
repeat it, sir. Repeat it.
Okay, external perception is direct contact of sense organ with sensory object. For example, your ears are getting my sound. Your eyes are watching the image of this PPT. These all are external perception. You are listening to any music. You are watching any person. That is external perception. On the basis of that external perception, what your mind is perceiving. For example, you are looking at any person and he is showing you gun. So watching gun is an external perception, but what your mind will perceive, that is internal perception. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Your mind will perceive that it is not a good person. I should run from here, or I am in a danger. All these things, all these thoughts, mental states, such as thoughts, emotion, desire, that comes after this external perception is known as internal perception. Okay, so this is
Sir,
perception.
give a few seconds.
Okay.
Sir, if you can scroll down a little bit to the internal perception part.
Okay, done.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next is Anumana. Anumana means inference. So we will discuss this Anumana in detail tomorrow. But for now, please concentrate on this. We will just discuss some introduction of this Anumana so that tomorrow we will not be starting from scratch. What is Anumana? Anumana is indirect knowledge. Why we are calling this as indirect knowledge? Because perception is direct knowledge. We are getting knowledge from our sense organ directly. That is direct knowledge. On the basis of this direct knowledge, when we are inferring something, so it is indirect knowledge acquired through inference. It is based on the observation of a particular phenomena and the subsequent application of a general principle to explain it. So what you are doing, you are just observing a particular phenomena and you are coming up with a general principle to explain that phenomena, and that general principle is based on some past experience on something. I will just give you an example. For example, you have seen, you get up at a morning and you are seeing wet roads. So what you will infer? You will infer that yesterday night it was raining. This is your inference. So what you are doing, you are just observing wet roads, and on the basis of that perception of wet roads, you are going with some general principle, like when it rains, then only the road gets wet. So you are explaining that phenomena on the basis of some general principle, and you are getting some indirect knowledge. If you are not understanding this, it is okay. When we explain these three medium of inference, then you will understood this. Okay.
Sir, I think it is like based on the knowledge that we already have, inferring anything based on that previous knowledge is called anumana, right?
Yeah, and that previous knowledge, you can also say it like general principle. For example, you have seen wet roads. You are inferring yesterday it might rain. So you are doing this on on the basis of some general principle, na? So what is that general principle? The general principle is after rain,
The roads will be wet.
The wet.
a road gets wet every time. This is our general principle. Similarly, if you are seeing some smoke on a hill, you are inferring that there could be fire. What is the general principle of for this inference? General principle is
S-
that
Smoke.
fire, huh,
Fire.
Fire, when there is smoke, then it is inferred that there might be fire in that place.
general principle is that whenever there is smoke, there can be fire, or if we generalize it more, fire produces smoke. This is general principle. So we are inferring something on the basis of our observation. This is our observation, and on the basis of this general principle. What happens in Arthapatti? You can write it down. What happens in Arthapatti? We have observation. We are seeing some fat guy, but we don't have any general principle. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If we observe smoke rising from a distant hill, we infer that there is fire based on the general principle that smoke is produced by fire. So we use that general principle. Three type of inference, very very important. Many time they ask about it, and it will also come sometime in paper too, because we have darshan. So this all comes under Nyaya darshan. So three types of inference: Purvavat, Sheshvat, and Samanya Drishta. Purvavat means prior knowledge.
Sir, voice is breaking, sir.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so three types of inference are there. One is Purvavat, other is Sheshvat, and the next one is Samanyato Drishta. So let's understood this Purvavat and Sheshvat. Just a minute. So first, let's discuss this Purvavat. Purvavat and prior knowledge. What is this prior mean? It is something related to past. So by this you can easily understand this Purvavat knowledge. Purvavat inference or Purvavat anuman means when we are inferring cause after observing the effect. Means you are getting prior knowledge, you are getting knowledge of past. Purva means prior or knowledge of past. So two things are there. First is cause and other is effect. And it is well known that every time cause will be there and then after its effect will be there. So cause will always comes prior to the effect. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So in Purvavat, what we are doing, we are inferring the knowledge of cause after observing the effect. Now let's see some example of this Purvavat inference. For example, you are seeing wet roads. So wet road is a effect, but what is the cause of this? Cause is rain. So if you are Yes, if you are inferring rain after observing wet road, so this type of anumana is called your Purvat anumana or Purvat inference, prior knowledge. You are getting prior knowledge, knowledge of past. Next is Seshvat. Sesh means future knowledge or we can say posterior knowledge. And one more thing, please don't go with these terms, posterior knowledge. In many books, you will see after knowledge. Just remember these terms. Seshvat. Seshvat means you are getting knowledge of cause or you are inferring knowledge of cause or effect.
Cause.
Effect.
Effect. Cause we already inferred in this Puruvatna.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
What we already inferred the cause. Yes, effect. Very good. When we are inferring knowledge of effect after observing cause. Can you give one example of this?
By looking at the clouds, we estimate rain.
Yes, very good. By looking at clouds, you are inferring that it could rain. It is Seshvat. Next, Samanyato Drishta. Samanyato Drishta is just like inductive reasoning. Samanyato Drishta, it is just like inductive reasoning. Means you are observing some phenomena again and again, and on the basis of that observation, you are coming up with a general statement. Okay, let's look this in this Samanyato Drishta. When we infer a universal principle from particular instances, you are observing some various particular instances, like the same example of your milkman getting late, you are observing him getting late again and again, again and again, then you can infer he used to get late uh, every day. So Samanyata Drishta is not very much important, but Seshwat and Purvat, these two are being asked multiple times in exam. Okay. Next, elements of Anumana. This is also very much important. Please try to understand these three hetu of Anumana. These three, we can say, elements of Anumana. Without these three, the Anumana is not possible. So, after some time, we will also discuss this with Western logic. Okay. Three elements of Anumana. One is Hetu. Hetu, reason. Okay, first let's take an example. After seeing smoke on a mountain, we infer that there is fire. So this is a common statement. After seeing smoke on a mountain, we are inferring that there is a fire. With this statement, it will be easy to understand these three elements. So one is Hetu, reason. So Hetu is the reason of our inference. So in this, what is the reason of our inference?
Smoke.
You observe smoke. Very good. On the basis of smoke, we are inferring. So Hetu means reason of our inference, that observation or that perception because of which we are doing inference, that is known as Hetu. Next is Sadhya, and it is also known as proposition. Sadhya means the thing which is being inferred, which you are inferring that it can be there. So what is Sadhya in this?
Fire, sir.
Yes, fire is your Sadhya. Very good. Hetu is cause of your inference, and Sadhya is fruit of your inference, or the thing which you are inferring, that is known as Sadhya. Next is Paksha. So Paksha, or we also called it as subject. Subject means the place of inference. Where you are inferring something. So in this, the place is,
Mountain.
yes, this mountain. So this is your Paksha. So if we go through Western logic, this Paksha is also known as minor term. This Sadhya is known as major term. And the term connecting major term and minor term, this is our middle term. In this, you can see that which term is connecting fire and mountain. This is
Smoke.
smoke. Yes, only because of smoke we are inferring fire on mountain. So that's why hetu is known as middle term, or the thing which we want to prove, the thing which we are inferring, that is our major term, or sadhya. Sadhya means which we want to prove, and paksha, the place where we are inferring something. Okay, now let's take one example, then we will move forward. After uh, seeing wet roads, you are inferring that there could be rain. So, which is hetu in this?
Wet roads.
Wet roads. What is your sadhya in this, or which? What
Sir,
is your
Rain is the
rain is the reason, right, sir?
no? Rain is not the reason. After seeing wet roads, what you are observing?
Wet roads.
Only because of this wet roads, you are now coming to a decision na ki could rain could be there in past.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
understood.
seeing the wet roads is the hetu.
Hetu means on the basis of which you are doing inference. So on the basis of this wet roads, you are inferring that there could be rain.
Yeah.
So this is hetu.
So
Rain
rain is the sadhya.
rain is
sadhya.
sadhya.
Yes, very good. Rain is sadhya.
And roads are the
Paksha.
paksha.
Yes, road are paksha. Very good. So this is our inference, hetu, sadhya, and paksha. Now, tomorrow we will just explain all these terms. Upamana. Upamana is comparison or analogy. Upamana means knowledge acquired through comparison or analogy. For example, if you ask me, uh, what how is your brother, or how your brother looks like, if I am telling you it just look like me, you have already seen me and I am telling you my brother also looks like me. So what I am doing, I am just giving you knowledge of known what you already know. On the basis of that, I am doing some comparison and I am telling you my brother also looks like me. So on the basis of this statement, you can make an image of my brother in your mind. So this is known as upamana. It involves the comparison of two or more things based on their similarity in certain respect. For example, if someone asks for the location of a new restaurant in town, we might say it is in the same building as the post office. Means that person is already having knowledge of post office, and we are just giving similarities like it is having same location as post office, so that the person will get to know about the location of new restaurant. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So upamana is based on similarity. Three elements of upamana. It is very simple. The upameya. Upameya means the object being compared. Like for example, I want you to get knowledge of my brother. So my brother is upameya in this. Upama. Upama means the object of comparison. I am comparing my brother with me, means the thing we already know. It is upama. For example, in many poetic texts or in many linguistic literature, you have seen that many times a poet compares a girl with a moon, her eyes with eyes of deer. So what is upameya? Upameya means that thing we doesn't know. We have not seen the girl of which the poet is talking about. So that thing we don't know, and the poet is comparing that thing with something other, that is upameya. It is very important to know the difference between upameya and upama. Upameya means that thing we doesn't know and we are comparing it with something to get its knowledge. For example, that girl the poet is mentioning, poet wants us to know the attributes of that girl. So we are not knowing about that girl till now. Then the poet is comparing that girl with moon. Moon, we all know moon is very, very beautiful. So we can understood by this that moon, poet is giving comparison of moon for this girl, so she will be also very beautiful. So upama means that thing, the object of comparison that we already know. Samanya means the common attribute between these two. For example, the poet is comparing the moon with the girl to tell us about attributes of girl. So what you will understood? Will you understood that the girl will be as round as the moon? Will you understood like the
She will be
girl
beautiful as moon.
as beautiful as moon means the common attributes, because nothing is no two things are complete similar. So samanya means the common attributes which we are talking about. For example, as I am telling you, my brother looks like me. It doesn't mean like he's also studying yoga and he is also uh, doing everything like me. Means we are just uh, we just look same. So samanya means the common attribute between upameya and upama.
So
Okay.
repeat Samanya sir one more time.
Samanya means the common attribute on the basis of which we are comparing upama and upameya. The common attribute or common characteristic between upama and upameya. For example, we are comparing moon to the girl. It is because beauty of moon and girl both are very beautiful. That's why poet is comparing girl to moon. Now it is clear that beauty is
Yes
some.
sir.
Okay. Okay, next
Sir,
is
in this, if we put it in a sequential order, Upameya is the object that is being compared, right? So,
huh,
in the comparison of girl and moon, Upameya is the object being compared, which is the girl.
actually don't remember like this, like the object being compared or the object of comparison. It will be very confusing. Both
Hmm.
are being compared with each other. The
Hmm.
poet is comparing the girl to the moon. So
So,
both being
hmm.
compared with each other, but one thing we don't know, like the girl we don't know. So that thing is upameya,
Okay.
and the moon. We know about moon. That's why the poet is comparing the girl to the moon. If you understood this, like the upameya we don't know, and the upama we know, then you will already understood this, why this is the point object being compared and why this is object of comparison.
Right,
Is
sir.
it
Yeah, correct, sir.
okay? Okay, next is verbal testimony. What is verbal testimony? Verbal testimony is knowledge acquired through verbal testimony or word of authority. Knowledge acquired through some words. These words can be words of some personality or some text, spiritual text, scriptures. These words can be words of any guru or anything. These are known as Sabda Pramana. So there are two elements of this Sabda Pramana. One is the Sabda Pramana, means the verbal authority, and the statement, the Sabda. In simple language, the Sabda means what is being said, content of something, and Sabda Pramana means who is saying or in which book that statement is written. So it is source of statement. So Sabda Pramana means what is the source, what is the authority, who is quoting these words. And the Sabda means what is the content of those words and what are those words. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Shabda Brahmana is the authority or the source, and Shabda is the actual content or the statement.
Actual statement, yes. Okay, now Arthapatti. Arthapatti means pre-junction or postulation. We also called it as postulation. So in Arthapatti, we are just pre-assuming something on the absence of and without any general principle. This is Arthapatti, as you give example of a couple in class, and as we see example of this fat man. If a fat man is not eating food, and if you are not seeing a fat man eating food, then you will assume he is eating all the night. So Arthapatti without any general statement, without any proper logic, if you are inferring something, if you are postulating something, it is known as Arthapatti. Next is Anuplabdhi, non-apprehension.
Sir, can you scroll a little bit up?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next is Anuplabdhi, non-apprehension, and this non-apprehension I already told you. It is very much simple. It means when absence of something is giving us some knowledge, then it is known as Anuplabdhi. We might know that there is no milk in the refrigerator by opening the door and seeing that there is no milk. It is a very basic example. We can understand it like this. If you kept something in fridge, and after some time you just open your fridge or refrigerator, you are not finding that thing, then what you will assume? You can assume that anyone from your family have eaten that. This we can assume. So if absence of anything is leading to a conclusion, then it is Anuplabdhi. And in exam also, if you are finding this word absence, then you can just take on anuplabdhi, because absence is always related to this anuplabdhi. Two type of anuplabdhi or non-apprehension are there. One is pratyaksh, direct non-apprehension, and one is anuman anuplabdhi. Pratyaksh mean when we directly perceive the non-existence of something. For example, when we look for a pen in a room and do not find it, we gain knowledge of its non-existence, and we can get knowledge that it might be stolen in your classroom. Or if you are not going school or college, you can infer that your brother or your some family member might took it. So when you are directly perceiving the non-existence of something, then this is known as pratyaksha anuplabdhi, direct non-apprehension. Other is Anumana Anuplabdhi, inferential non-apprehension, when we infer the non-existence of something based on its absence. For example, if we see a person who never eaten spicy food before, not showing any sign of discomfort after eating a spicy dish, we can infer they do not find it spicy. Now, for example, physical Anuplabdhi, you are not
Sir, can
finding.
you give some more examples of these?
I gave.
Anupalabdhi is kind of relates to the example that I've given, right? Their absence means that they are on a date.
Hmm.
That is
हाँ,
Anupalabdhi, which now Pratyaksha Anupalabdhi is direct non-apprehension, where we directly perceive the non-existence of something. So we have seen that those two are missing, therefore we come to a conclusion that they might be dating.
when you see this na कि they are not in the classroom, that is
Yeah,
प्रत्यक्ष अनुपलब्धि.
yeah.
On the basis
Pratyaksha.
of that,
Hmm.
हाँ, that is प्रत्यक्षा
So
अनुपलब्धि.
we are perceiving it directly. We are seeing that
हाँ,
they are absent in the class, and we are coming to that conclusion.
am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. In between, your sound just was not that
Okay.
clear.
No, I
Okay,
was just saying the same thing, sir. When we are directly seeing that those two people are missing from the class, it means that it is pratyaksha anupalabdhi. We are perceiving it directly.
हाँ,
The
we are perceiving.
non-existence of those two people, we are perceiving it directly.
Huh. And on the basis of that non-existence, if you are inferring that they might be dating, then it will be Anuman Anuplabdhi. Is it clear now?
Yeah. So based on that direct perception, when we come to a conclusion or infer that they might be dating, that inference is called anumana anupalabdhi.
हाँ, Anumana Anuplabdhi. We are
Yes,
inferring.
sir.
Okay. Okay, so these all are pramanas. Next, only two topics are remaining. One is structure and kind of Anumana. We will do it tomorrow morning, and this will be very important and somewhat it is complex. So try to attend the live class. And can we shift this class to uh, 11 a.m.? You are
Yeah,
having an.
we sometimes there is a clash with the revision sessions, sir, because there are revision classes going on in the Hindi medium class and batch. We are asked to join them if possible. So some of us are attending those revision sessions.
After
Okay,
12, you can take that.
after 12.
Maybe Rahul sir might take a class. No, that if he's not taking it, then Yogopanishad's classes are generally scheduled around that time.
Tomorrow is
But
Sunday.
Tomorrow Sunday.
one more thing is there. Now we already have evening class for this also. So there should be some gap at least 6 to 8 hours, so there will be proper fasting of this subject. Else you will be reading this again and again.
Hmm.
Okay, I will let you know.
Sir, Jitendra sir might be knowing the schedule for tomorrow.
Yeah, I will talk with Jiten sir, and if he gives me that 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. slots, then we will be discussing on that time. Else, I will let you know if I will be able to take class in tomorrow morning or not. In tomorrow evening, there will be certainly we will be discussing at 6 p.m.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, now you can leave. Thank you.
Sir, some questions from what we did in the Western logic.
Some
If you
previous
can
year.
give.
Okay,
Hmm.
sure. Question. Let's just finish this Indian logic also. Then we will do previous year questions. Previous year
Sir,
question.
in fallacies, there was one thing that you wanted to complete, right? Middle, undistributed middle or something.
Yeah,
Undistributed middle. Yeah.
that we will complete after studying Venn diagram, so that it will be easy.
Okay,
So
sir.
in tomorrow evening, we will be discussing that if I take class in morning.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Would
Thank
you be
you.
sharing the notes, sir?
Notes I already shared. Like in this group, I already shared the Western logic notes, and today after this class, I will share this Indian logic notes.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am.